Welcome to Queer Next, the podcast that puts the yeehaw in y'all means all. I'm your host, Beck.
And I am your host, Dash. Welcome to today's episode.
My mother-in-law and my best friend came to visit this weekend, and we thought, well, we'll get a game, right? So we were perusing Amazon, and on sale was Taboo Uncensored, and we thought, well, that will be fun, right?
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? So we got it in the mail, and we opened it up, and there are some things that I am too delicate to even pretend that I want to say. They were terrible. Some of the things that they were talking about, some of the words that they wanted you to guess, that I would never say to my mother-in-law. I would never say it to my wife, let alone my mother-in-law.
Wow.
They were pretty bad. I'll tell you one of them if you'll bleep me.
Sure. Oh,
like, what am I supposed to do with that? With my mother-in-law? We were like, nope. So we bought original Taboo, and we played that instead. So that was way more fun. Yeah.
Do you want me to bleep that in such a way that people can guess what it is, or entirely?
Entirely.
Okay. It's that bad, folks. If you're feeling froggy, check. This is not sponsored, but get, what is it? Uncensored Taboo?
Taboo Uncensored. There's a midnight one too, but this is I guess that was more sexy. I don't know. This one is just bad, bad, bad all the way through it. And that was like the third card I pulled.
I can't think of a group of people I would want to play that with. Who's that
I know,
for?
No wonder it was on sale, is all I can say.
A select group of people. How did they market it? You know, like, what does that algorithm look like?
Right. And when they were like assigning who to write topics, they were like, go there, you know, like really, really, really go there.
They scoured the depths of YouTube and 4chan. Well, I mean, that was a bonding experience anyway.
Yes. I had a good time with them. We couldn't really go in anywhere because we had the dog, so everything had to be an outdoor activity or in the car. But we got to show them all kinds of stuff. We took Shanna's mom to a dispensary in Michigan. That was a lot of fun. She had never seen anything like it, so.
I've never seen one either, actually.
Yeah, well, come up and I'll take you. They're wild. In Michigan, I've never been to one in Ohio, but I know, or maybe I did go to the one in BG once. I don't remember. But it's so different from Ohio to Michigan. You go in Michigan and it looks like an Apple store in some of them. And other ones, it's just wall-to-wall product. Because they don't put the products out on the floor. Everything's behind the counters, you know. And they've got 50 different varieties of gummies and 100 different varieties of weed. And then big containers of what they call deli weed. And it's just big containers open with weed. And they'll get them down and let you smell it. And they'll get you out 4 ounces or whatever you want to buy or whatever, you know what I mean? And then there'll be all the vapes that you can imagine and all the disposables and all the gummies. And it's crazy how many different things there are up there.
Man, I have a rant that I feel I'm not bad about, but like, I mean, maybe I need to feel bad about it depending on what this person's deal is.
Oh no.
Yeah. So somebody is either fucking with me intentionally or stupid or maybe suffering some sort of medical or mental event. But either way, it's a big like I have to do something about it because it's my psychiatrist.
Oh no.
She is so odd. And it's remote. Like, I see her remotely because there's just not like options for that kind of thing around here. And, you know, everybody has their own goddamn app they have to use. She doesn't use my chart. It's some third party janky ass thing. Like, it has always been a problem, even, you know, for me, and I'm accustomed to this kind of thing. And so maybe she struggles with this. She seems to struggle with technology in general. Like, whenever we meet online, her audio is always cutting in and out because she has some like noise canceling thing behind her. And then she has a background noise filter on her. And so it's filtering out everything. And so I tried to tell her, I was like, you're cutting entirely out. I don't know what the words you're saying are. And she won't, this was our very first meeting. And she just goes, well, my audio's up. and was like not interested in troubleshooting. She was such a cunt to me on that in general on that first meeting.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, okay. And she's like, it must be something on your end. And I was like, yeah, I don't have the fanciest equipment, but I think my podcasting studio is probably not the problem with this, you know?
Right.
So every time we meet, we have to go through that, first of all, me going like, I don't hear you. There are no words coming through. Turn off the noise canceling thing or turn off the background noise filter or use a real big girl headset instead of those Bluetooth headphones. Like something's not working in there. And so she's like, well, I'll just call you on the phone. So that was kind of like a giveaway. But this stupid app, every time I have to communicate with her, which is the only way I can communicate with her outside of appointments. So like she asked me for something. Like I had all this homework, right? She wanted me to go in somewhere to a physical location and get them to take my vitals, blood pressure and whatnot and send it to her. And I was like, makes sense. So I found a place close by. And then she wanted a letter from my cardiologist that it was safe for me to take stimulants. And so I got that. And so I sent it to her through this thing. And I said, here's the cardiologist letter. And she says, I'm not able to open a document. See if you can email it to the office. So I was like, which office? You don't have a physical location. This is a network. It's kind of the whole deal. And I said, which office? I can't find an email address on the main website linked to here. I can't find an email for you. The office that you are listed at only has a fax number available, and I don't have a fax machine. And she replies with the physical address of the thing I just described to her.
I don't mean to laugh.
I saw that and I was like, what? And then there was also a lot of other stuff going on in this app that I think that just couldn't. And so I didn't schedule because I have to schedule through this app. And so somebody from the Big Brother office called me and they're like, your provider's requesting you schedule with her. And I was like, she's not replying to my messages. Like I had a question for her and I did the scheduling thing through the thing and she hasn't looked at it. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I'll schedule you then. And then I was like, okay, while I have somebody who can speak, can you take a look at those messages and tell me what the hell's going on? And he was like, that is odd. And he goes, first of all, I can view that document just fine. And I was like, okay, can you tell her how to do it? Anyway, so we finally meet and she gets me on medication and I don't like it. I'm not living on this medicine. The side effects there are side effects that are exacerbating something I was already dealing with coming from testosterone therapy, which happens sometimes because trans people, like the effects on our bodies aren't really factored into what people know or the knowledge they have readily available about what side effects can look like. So what we thought we were going to be expecting was a lot worse. And I'm like, when I went to the gyno doctor, she was like, you don't have to live that way. Like you can say, this isn't working for me. I'm not comfortable. And I was like, yeah, I guess I can. And she goes, well, why don't we do that gene test where it'll tell us what medications you're more likely to tolerate, And I said, I just heard, and this, mind you, this is in like 2019, that it costs $3,000 to get that test run. She's like, maybe, but you're on Medicaid, so I'm just going to bill them.
It cost Shanna $300 out of pocket.
I'm glad to hear it's come down because, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she did it. We got the results back, and the medicine she has me on is in the red column. So it on top of that, it's also just not the best medicine for me. So I sent her a message. Yes, I say too much. I always do when I email people. I'm an over-explainer. But I said, hi, Dr. Last Name. I'm having a hard time with these side effects, especially yada yada. They're exacerbating an issue I was already dealing with from testosterone therapy. My primary did a gene test to see what meds would be more tolerable. Attached is the results. Will anything in the green column work instead of what we have me on right now? This was days ago. I was actually fixing to see if I could call somebody and be like, can you make this woman check her messages? But this morning she replies with, if you had infinite time, you would never guess what she replied to me with.
I'm afraid to ask.
She said, Michelle. Just Michelle.
That is insane.
Is she okay?
I thought mine was loopy. She talks about things like reincarnation and crazy stuff all the time. Not my therapist, the lady that does my meds.
Yeah. You can be crazy. I don't care, right? As long as it doesn't affect my ability,
Right?
what we're here to do.
Yeah.
And so this is like, this should be super simple. Like, pick something from column A that, I mean, not like, I'm sure there's research involved. I'm sure she would want to be like, okay, is this medicine going to do what we were hoping? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know shit about her job, but I would assume that it can be done in a day or something. At least send a message and be like, okay, yeah, I'll look into it. All I can think is she was trying to forward the message or like copy somebody on it, which is also weird. I don't know. I think she's just not good at the technology, and you don't need to be. This is something I worry about with teaching asynchronous. Like, what if I suck at the technology? You don't need to be doing telehealth if you can't do the technology.
I started setting up my large lecture class this week, and it is overwhelming.
Oh, man.
I have all those TAs, and I have to set up a section for each of them. I'll have to separate out all 300 students, because there's 297 the last time I checked people in the class. And so each TI, they're not TAs anymore, they're TIs. The TIs will have their own section so that they can do all the grading independently and stuff like that. But I started looking at the readings and the way she has everything set up, and it's a lot. But I got the course copied over, and I got the beginnings of it started. So
that's what it looks like when somebody only has a 2-2 teaching load.
Yeah.
They can go fucking ham on their courses like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you get to reuse the materials, and it's going to be fine. It'll be more work than the other ones, just acclimatizing to it.
Yeah.
Is the I and TI instructor?
Yes.
I'm seeing that in a lot of places, like a lot of folks that I talk to who work at other universities. Therapy Bro also is one of them. Is they're changing the names or the titles of various positions in academia to deal with the inflating requirements for getting a job. So like you have to have been being a TA is not technically being an instructor of record. Right. So if it says instructor, the AI and credentialing departments are more likely to see that as work experience.
Right. I'm hoping all of this pans out well for me, that like the next place that I go will be like, well, you've already handled some TIs and supervised these people and held a large lecture and taught for 12 years and that kind of thing. So I'm trying, bro.
Yeah, no, you're doing all the right things. We've turned into higher ed cast again, so. We came here to play games and fuck around.
Yes, we did.
And be stupid.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
We landed on the Wheel of What Have You told us to play some games today, which we said okay. So I think I found a way for us to play my version of online Pictionary, and you, Beck, has created something. We've got a brand new game here. The Queer Next Special. What did you call it?
5-second holler. You get 5 seconds I'm going to give you a topic. It could be something like Dolly Parton movies, and you have 5 seconds to list 3 of them. It could be things you find in a dumpster, and you have 5 seconds to list 3 things that you find in a dumpster. Random things.
I'm already a little stressed out about it. Which I think is the point of games like that, to up the anxiety a little bit in the hopes that somebody says or does something stupid. Well, I'm excited for that. So I think, I don't know. Pictionary is also kind of dumb. For us to play Pictionary, here's what I thought, we are going to record this. We're going to screen record what we draw and post it on YouTube as a video instead of where you get the podcast feed. And then we'll also include it in the newsletter and host it on the Substack, wherever else. I don't know where we'll put it. But in case you're somebody who doesn't care to go and hunt down a video, what I thought to keep it interesting while we're drawing for the podcast is the rule is you have to constantly be guessing. So whatever it looks like, the person's drawing, like, say I've just drawn, like, I've only gotten as far as like a half a circle or something. You have to guess what that might be, and stupid answers, whatever. So, like, it could be a butt cheek, or it could be an umbrella, whatever.
Right.
But you have to constantly be guessing. And that way, I thought it would be like, listeners, if y'all want to be like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, you could be guessing too, based on what the person is guessing. Like, what is appearing on screen that made Beck say butt cheek?
It actually takes very little.
Right. We'll see how it goes. If it absolutely sucks for audio, I probably won't cut it out or whatever. You can just skip ahead if you don't like it, but we won't do it again we'll save it for, a video only type of thing. But I have a feeling it's going to be funny, because when I played this with the kids, my stomach hurt the next day. How much we laughed. One of the things I drew was my phone screensaver for years. I'm going to send you this thing I drew, because it has to be still in my phone somewhere, and it's one of my like pride and joys. I want it on my tombstone. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I want a pepperoni on my tombstone.
Specifically a Giovanni's pepperoni.
Yeah, they're big.
Which do you want to play first? Should we just randomly flip a coin? You can do all things through internet. Google flips coins for you. Okay, so heads is Pictionary, tails is 5 second holler. All right, we're gonna flip. It's really taking. That's tails, so we're playing 5 second holler first.
All right.
Nice.
I thought I would count down. I would just be like 1, 2, 3, like with my fingers.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see me?
You are a little bit out of frame. Your hand is out of frame. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Are we ready to start?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Okay, all right. Your first topic is, we'll do an easy one, campy horror movies.
Oh, I'm freezing. Halloween, Slaughter Park. Shit! This is like word association where your brain locks up. Campy horror movies?
Do you want to do longer?
I think I do need 10 seconds, maybe.
Okay. Or we could do 8-second holler.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. You ready for another one?
I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
Things Dash would buy at a yard sale.
A hammock, a coffee cup, shoes,
there you go.
and a hat.
That's 3. Yeah, you got 4. That's very good. Very good.
I'm not going to be able to count how many things I'm saying while I'm also saying them.
I'll use 2 hands, one for each, one for counting and one for counting. All right. Things you should not do at a family reunion.
Talk about religion, eat mom's cookies, sit next to my uncle, Ollie.
You're going to get belated birthday whippings, huh?
No, and he has passed, and he wasn't my uncle, but oh god, it was like losing every lottery at once. Just being sat next to this guy, and it wasn't even really anything wrong with him. I mean, he was an asshole, but he wasn't evil. He was a Republican, but like stupid, and you didn't really have to. But he was deaf as a post, and didn't wear his hearing aids, and always wanted to have complex conversations because he used to be a doctor. And so you're just going to be screaming the same banal thing over and the weather in Minnesota over and over.
My best friend is deaf, and she wears her hearing aids, and it's comical sometimes having conversations with her. I just can't imagine somebody that doesn't wear them, because she tries real hard, and still you'll be like, the grass was green today, and she'd be like, they flew the flag today, what? And she just...
that game where people, they put on headphones and play music really loud in them, and then somebody talks to them, and then they have to guess what they're talking about?
Yeah.
I love watching people play that game.
That must be what it's like to be hard of hearing.
It can be. Like, I go out sometimes now and I forget my hearing aids because I don't talk to people, so I don't really need them. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I didn't know you wore them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not, like, I had gotten used to kind of functioning without them. I didn't realize I was and I knew something was up, but I didn't realize I was like that deaf until COVID. Honestly, everybody walking around with masks on, and I was like, I have been reading lips this whole time.
Yeah.
And so, because I was like, it's not that people were that much quieter with the masks on, because even I would be like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. People would scream at me, and I'm like, God damn, I don't know what the hell you just said.
Yeah.
And so I was working at SIU, and they had a clinic there for people to study at. That's one of the good things about being at a university is there's usually a resource around. And I went over and got tests done, and they're like, yeah, you're deaf as a post.
Speaking of tests, I sign up for random things on the internet all the time to do volunteer work and things. And there was a study being done for Parkinson's disease, and it's a smell test. And what they do is they send you 4 little booklets, and each of the booklets have 10 different scratch and sniff areas on them. And you have to decide based on the 4 options they give you which one it is. And it was things like leather and peppermint and dandelions, or that's the first thing. I don't know what dandelions smell like, but you get what I'm saying. Peaches and wood burning and, like all kinds of different things. And you had to rub a pencil on it, and then you would smell it and mark it in, and then you had to report your answers online. Oh. It was really neat. And I gave Shannon the booklet. She showed it to everybody. They've done all the scratch and sniffs because I only did half of the square. That way, she could play with it later. She showed it to everybody. But it was really neat to do.
That's incredible. I wonder...
It's affiliated with the Michael J. Fox Foundation. I don't know what they said there's a chance you could be requested to do follow-up, and I haven't heard anything from them.
Is that a bad sign?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I have good smell or bad smell, or I'm just not in. I hope I'm not very interesting is my point. My grandmother had Parkinson's, so.
Oh. Well, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for round 2.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, towns in West Virginia.
Oh, Huntington. That's the only one I know. Is there a Smoky Tips? Is there a Deer Lick? Smoky Tips, West Virginia.
Smoky Tips, West Virginia. Yeah, there's a Kermit. There is a Hurricane, not Hurricane, Hurricane. There is Point Pleasant, where Mothman is from.
Oh, damn!
Charleston, the capital. Yeah,
I knew that one.
Yeah, Canova and Cerrito, 2 little towns where Camden Park is between Huntington and Cerrito. So that's where that's at. All kinds of little towns through there.
Cool. Sorry, West Virginians.
Yeah, I don't think they'll mind. Nobody knows anything about West Virginia anyway.
They're not going to be shocked.
Yeah, exactly. All right, uses for a Walmart bag.
Okay, produce, string and beans, and feet. Socks. We did use them to waterproof our shoes. So
okay. That makes more sense.
To say it was feet. Like somebody walking down the road with some feet in a bag. Though we didn't have snow boots, so we'd put socks on and then pull a Walmart bag up over the socks and then tie it with tape and then put our shoes, maybe rain boots or something, but I didn't have rain boots either. Just put our tennis shoes on over that and it would keep us from getting frostbite, I think.
I don't know how fun this fact is, but it's a fact anyway. Places like in Washington State, where there will be a congruence of what's the word? The flow of the water, currents. So the currents will meet and that kind of in certain places. Yeah. So they have a trend where shoes with feet in them wash up on shore. And it's because the body, what's been in water, it like comes apart, right? But the shoe is really stuffed in there, and they are meant to float. So when the foot detaches from the body, it gets into the water current and it washes up on shore. So it's not like somebody's cutting off feet and dumping bodies there. It's just there's a lot of people die in the water and their feet end up on the beach. So fun fact.
Wow.
I did preface that with, I don't know how fun it is, but it's a fact.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen in Appalachia because nobody wears shoes.
Yeah, exactly. I do. I am a weakling.
I don't.
When it comes to being barefoot.
Oh God, I hate wearing shoes. I'm barefoot every second I can be. Part of it's probably because they don't fit me. one foot is fully 3 inches bigger than the other one, and so every pair of shoes I wear, everything I say about myself makes me sound more like a hayseed, like more like some mutant that just rolled down the holler. But the leg that's longer also has a bigger foot. And
next you're gonna tell us you're buck-toothed and everything else.
Yeah. So I met somebody one time. This was this boyfriend I had. His dad was a huge asshole, and I met him, and he learned I was from Tennessee, and he's from Florida, right? So he's very evolved, highly evolved people in Florida. And he goes, "You got all your teeth?" And I said, "Yeah, actually, everybody in my family has all of their teeth."
That's impressive.
I said, "Do you have all of your teeth?" And he said, "No, actually, I have 2 falsies."
Bad teeth run so deep in my family, it's crazy. I've had a veneer since I was 8 years old. Like, I've had major dental work since I was a kid. I took a medicine called phenobarbital. I don't know if you've probably heard of it.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and I had calcium deposits in my teeth, and so I had big brown spots on my teeth. My mom was like, "Put them on there," and so I got the whatever you call them.
Teeth and bone density are where we hit the genetic jackpot. Not much else. But
yeah, I've never broken a bone, so there's that. But my aunt has broken her hip like 3 times. So, all right, I got a couple more of these for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see here. Things your papaw keeps in the garage.
Empty collector's liquor bottles, random mower blades, and oil.
Very good. Very good.
I can smell all of those things right now.
Men smell like oil a lot. At least my dad did. There's a very particular smell. He tried to teach me how to change my own oil, and I ended up with more oil in my hair and on the floor than actually in the car. He had the biggest laugh from that. He never asked me to do it again, I'll tell you that.
So sometimes, I'm not saying he did this, but we used to do this at the bowling alley sometimes. Ask somebody to do something without showing them the right way to do it. So maybe maybe that happened, but God, one time, the first day this guy showed up, he was a decent guy, could do just about anything, but didn't know the proper way to do it. Like, he could just figure it out, and he was really proud of that, and that's fine. You should be proud of being able to do that kind of thing. But occasionally, I think our supervisor wanted him to know that, like, these machines you can't just fuck around and find out on a pin setter, like, you'll break it. You do need to read the manuals. You do need to get familiar with what the parts actually are and stuff. And so we had a buffer, you know what I'm talking about? The thing you wax the floors with.
Yeah.
If you've ever run one of those, you can probably know where this story's going, but in case you haven't, they run on a big wheel that spins all the time. And if you don't know how to keep that level, it catches so for instance, it's spinning clockwise, and if you let it go forward like this, it just takes off and runs away because of the centripetal force. So that's actually how you steer it, right? Say you want to move this way, you just gradually tilt it forward and it goes this way, and then to come back around, you gradually tilt it back and it goes this way. Once you know how to do it, it's super easy. But if you don't, it's gonna fuck you up, man. You're going for a ride because they are so powerful. The torque on those things is incredible because it has to be fast, and it has to be moving fast enough to be kind of hovering. And so he just didn't tell this guy that. And so because he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll figure it out." Man, he lit that thing up. And it's got a big yellow switch on the front so that you can't accidentally hit it. And so he flipped that thing, and it just vroom, all the way down. They're all 32 lanes of the bowling alley.
Wow.
And it circled around his legs, and wrapped him in the cord. So it tripped him. It wasn't strong enough to drag him the whole way. So it did eventually, it let go of him. But the first thing it did was go all the way around him and wrap him in the cord. And then the cord, ripped off of his legs, it made this sound. He said it made his jeans burn like rope burn, and then off it went down the bowling alley. Thank God it was 9 a.m. and nobody was in there, because that would have killed one of those blue-haired old ladies that comes in to bowl it.
My mom was on a Wednesday afternoon league, and it was all blue hairs, and my mom.
Yeah, Some lesbians that never found love. It's mostly what those leagues are.
We have had a Shanna's coworkers. They are falling in love, and she's been egging them on. She keeps sending her kiss the girl memes, and
Aww.
yeah, it's really cute. There's been a whole drama.
Is this a first time for them? Is this like a coming out thing?
They've been best friends, quote unquote, for a long time now.
Yeah.
One of them is lesbian, one of them is so-called straight. But she's been sending every signal in the book. She told her that she made a Tinder and that she put that she liked girls on there for the first time. Like, duh, like. Kiss the girl, like, come on.
Ask her out. Also,
yeah,
like you're besties already, so you do have to. That's tricky. I get it. And lesbians, they're the worst.
I called her a lesbian sheep. Have you heard that theory or that idea?
I saw a cartoon about it, but please explain.
So lesbian sheep, we would never know if they existed because if a sheep girl wants sex, she basically waits to be mounted. She presents herself to be mounted. So if you have two lesbian sheep and they are both waiting to be mounted, nothing is ever going to happen. And that is such a metaphor for lesbianism that I can't take it, you know?
They're just, they have to like present their butts to each other and slowly back up.
We call that a moon landing.
Beep, beep. There's something about gay sheep too, like the male sheep. There's a lot of gay ones, and I think it's in Scotland. In some place, if they won't breed, they are destroyed. And so there's this gay dude who has a whole farm of these gay sheep.
I heard about it. I heard about that.
And he sells their wool. I think that's how he runs the thing. And we should look into that and see what kind of products he has, because that's just so fucking weird and cool. And he seems happy as hell. So good for everybody involved. Happy for those sheep.
Yeah. So we called them lesbian sheep. They're like, call me out, damn it.
Well, and if it's somebody that you've been friends with a long time, and you're starting, the reason they make movies about this, like falling in love with your best friend is complicated.
Yeah.
When it's further complicated by something like queerness or a minoritized identity, and for one person in particular, it's they're coming out, you want to get that right, but it can also like wanting to get it right can make you fuck it up because you don't do anything.
Well, Shanna and I were best friends for about 6 months before anything happened, and she was a straight girl, and I was the lesbian. And she got jealous. I dated while we were friends, because why wouldn't I? And she got real jealous a couple times. But I let her come to me, because I thought that was the safest bet. If she never did, that I wouldn't ruin our friendship. But she did, and worked out. 22 and a half years later, here we are.
But like coming to you, that can look like a lot of things. So this girl saying to her friend, I made a Tinder and put that I liked women on it. That's coming to her.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's actually genius, right? Because the Tinder piece, that signals I would like to be asked out. Like I'm soliciting invitations to go on dates.
Yes.
So yeah, at that point, if you wanna, you gotta.
Yeah.
Well, keep us updated. We want to know.
I will. We're all invested in this now. Yeah. And they have the same name, so it's extra cute.
It's extra gay, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go downstairs and get another drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I usually bring a spare. Did you sing us another song?
No, I did not. Did you like the last one I did?
Yeah. Did you like what I did? I put some music under it. Well, that was fun. The new game, 8-Second Holler, is now what it is. I can't believe I fucked up campy horror movies so bad. I just wasn't expecting it, and then you fuck it up because you're nervous. Okay, now I'm on the Zoom. No, how do I draw? It's been a minute. Oh, there we go. Maybe not. All right. See, you're gonna beat me at this because I just can't draw, and this is also a way more difficult kind of drawing.
Yeah, with your mouse?
Well, I'm using a trackpad.
Ah.
Because I don't have a mouse.
I insist upon it. I'm terrible with the mouse, the included one. I always buy a mouse.
I probably should. I mean, this because I have carpal tunnel. This isn't helping me out any. Okay, so who goes first? We could flip another coin.
Go for it.
If Anybody ever needs to flip a coin, if you just Google coin flip, there's a little widget in Google that comes up. And you just click on it and it flips. All right. So do you want heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Let me finish what I was doing first and then. Okay, it's tails. So you go first, I guess.
Okay. Familiarize myself with the tools here. Okay, tell me when to go. Am I drawing first or guessing first?
You're drawing, so yeah.
Okay, are you ready to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hammock. Canoe. Coffee. Toilet. What? Sundae ice cream cone?
There you go, ice cream cone.
That's a really good one. Wow. We don't have a timer or anything. Should we put a timer on?
No, we'll know when it's time to be dead.
Right, yeah. Right. When it's no longer fun.
Clear my drawings. All right, so go B.
Oh, how did you do that? Where it cleared it all?
There's a garbage can over here in the menu.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, let me get my word. Oh, this is not gonna be easy. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
A barn. It's a house. It's a milk jug. It's a knee.
Oh, it is a knee. How the fuck did you do that?
It looks like a knee to me.
Hell yeah. That's the best
Woo-hoo!
I've ever done.
Woohoo! Excellent. All right,
Wow.
I need a new word. It's thinking.
Oh, you got to go up now. You got to go up to medium because we did easy first.
Okay.
Let's do medium now.
Oh God. Okay.
Nose. Mount Everest. A snake? Robin Hood.
Oh, this is terrible. Let me start over.
No, you can't.
Oh, no, that's not what I want. No, I need the painter. There we go.
Barney. Trixie Mattel. Snoopy. Loch Ness Monster. A mermaid.
I think that's gonna help.
A sea serpent with ears.
Here, we'll give him an earring too.
A pirate? Is it a snake?
No.
That didn't help.
Maybe they have this.
Alligator?
Oh, all right. You ready to give up?
Yeah.
It's a seahorse.
Oh man, that's not bad actually. That's pretty good. Why the earring? Why does it have an earring?
Because I'm stupid. He's a fancy seahorse.
Well, you know, now that you say it, it's not bad actually. I can see it.
I tried to give you the sea with the water. Yeah.
You could have drawn that and a horse, although I don't know if a horse would be any easier to draw.
True that.
Well, right, that was quite a bit harder.
All right, let's try next one. Hi, Roo.
I don't think... Okay, I'll do it, but this feels like cheating. I feel like you're going to get it. Based on...
PETA.
Things.
All right,
What's
based
PETA
on
doing?
Things. She's being a butthead. A butt nugget is what she is. A nugget of butt.
You don't say. All right. Okay. So.
It's a barn. It's a knee. It's a foot. It's an ankle. It's a paw. It's a heel.
Heel, yeah.
I guessed all around it.
Well, and that's why I said it feels like cheating because it was so related to the last one. I almost
Right.
Got a new one, but then that felt like cheating too. So,
Okay, I got an easy one this time.
Well, did you go up?
The hard?
Yeah. We're going to go up each time.
Oh, shit. Okay, all right. Oh, shit. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I already know I'm not going to get it. The table, a house, a barn, a hospital, a chapel, a church, a tower, a lookout tower, a mailbox, a post office.
Post office. There you go.
Pretty good. This looks like a creature. This mailbox here.
With a smile.
Yeah.
I'm not good with legs of things.
This was pretty good. We got it. I think we've gotten 3. All but the seahorse, I think.
Yeah, all but the seahorse. All right, your turn.
Okay.
It's a man. It's a baby. It's a linebacker. It's a dentist chair. It is a mutant. It's Mothman. It is a torso. It is the heart, the lungs.
Lung.
It is. There you go.
Wait a minute. We need to take a screenshot of that. How do we do?
Let's see. Let me see if my screenshot here will work.
I remember save. Okay,
I
can save it as a PNG. Okay.
I saved it as a screensaver shot too.
Nice. Okay. Whew. All right. Now, extremely, really hard.
Oh God. All right. Let's see what we get here. What? I'm vetoing that one. That one's too hard. Okay, that one's really hard too, but we'll try it.
Okay.
All right. Oh God, how do you do this? All right, let's do
table, graph, chart, stock market, profits.
There you go, profit.
That was good. You're good at this.
I'm really good at Taboo. I'm glad you got that from that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I was thinking stonks. All right, really hard. Last one. There is no way you're going to get this one, and there's no way whatever I draw is going to be helpful. So, just so you know.
It is a banana. It is a hat. It's a bird. It's a snail. It's a feather. It is a feather in your cap. It is a wing. It is Carmen Sandiego. It is Yankee Doodle Dandy. It is the Easter Bunny. Shit, I don't know. It is a scarecrow. It is a fisherman. It is a...
I'm out of signifiers. I can't think of anything else associated with this.
Amateur radio.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Maybe
sailboat? GPS?
Yeah, this is
on a motherfucking boat.
Do you give up?
I give up.
It's a Buccaneer.
Was that a sword? What is that on his hat?
Yeah, it's a cutlass. So these are feathers.
Looks like he's taking a shit.
Yeah, no. It's a boner.
That's funny. Well, that was fun.
Not one of the worst things I've drawn, honestly. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for doing that. That was...
We should do that again soon. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, let's take a break and hear from this week's sponsor. This week's episode of I looked at the word bootleggers when I was trying to say Queer Necks. This episode of Queer Necks is brought to you by Scrounging, aka the Free Range Pantry, the Freebie Shuffle, and for the Zennials out there, reduce, reuse, recycle. Or if you have plumb forgot where you come from, upcycling. Scrounging is the ancient art of seeing the opportunity in empty country crock tub and the bounty of a Circle K condiment bar. It's also a deep lore of recurring promotions, rewards, incentives, and BOGOs, forged in the fires of the 29-cent hamburger Wednesdays of the 1990s. With thanks to the great scrounging philosopher Uncle Jeb, who said, "Ain't nothing free. The cost of those ketchup packets is built into that burger you got," as he stuffed his overall bib with extra napkins. Similarly, no container of any sort is ever empty, but rather awaiting its next assignment. Somewhere along the way in its post-war class tourism journey, the rest of America decided owning fewer things would bring inner peace. That people in poverty had actually cracked the code and are living life on Easy Street, uninhibited by luxuries like shoes that fit and indoor plumbing. This revelation was in no way prompted by post-depression PTSD and bootstrap theory reframing poverty as a choice, and literally no generational horrors have succeeded it. A couple of decades ago, Marie Kondo told everybody to hold their belongings in their hands and asked whether it sparked joy. She seemed to think it would decrease a person's belongings, but her method is incompatible with Scrounging method, which instead asks, "Mightn't I need that?" Scrounging understands that usefulness is a form of beauty and that all items deserve a shot at it. But it was kind of nice to pause and reflect on how happy that rinsed out Ziploc bag makes you as you put it in the drying rack. So thanks, but also no thanks to Marie, to the upcyclers, to the obsessive declutterers. Let us know when you had that 4th yard sale this summer, though. That's this week's sponsor, Scrounging, proudly anti-landfill since way before it carried any tax kickbacks.
That's awesome.
Do you remember her, Marie Kondo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She pissed me off so bad.
I did not follow that at all. When I learned to declutter was when I had to clean out my parents' belongings after they died. Cleaning out your family's home will make you a what's the word I'm looking for? A minimalist, like immediately.
Just everything about that felt so not just tone deaf. It felt oblivious for sure, out of touch with what it's like to really live in the world. But it also felt disordered to me. Like,
I also think it was Big Entertainment's way of getting everybody to get rid of their DVDs and CDs and their physical media, and now all you have to stream everything.
The fact that it was a viral sensation on Netflix, and then at the advent of, this is getting into the media studies weeds, but it was called the Netflix effect in around 2010, 2012, where streaming services began to dominate. There was what you were just talking about, a rhetoric, a culture of get rid of your physical media. Everything is on demand, streaming, whatever now. And that actually was the moment I really leaned into collecting physical media. That was when my VHS collection really started to explode. I went looking for stuff a couple times a week. But this happened when our not first year, but early on in us moving up there to Bowling Green. And I just remember, like, this feels so classed and ugly and judgmental. And then if you criticize it, people are like, well, it's based in Shinto beliefs, so you're being really xenophobic. And I was like, you're a white person in Northwest Ohio, so I don't think that's for you to criticize me for, but whatever. And if that's true, again, incompatible with what my life requires out of my items and belongings.
Right.
But then, so I Googled her before I wrote this because I was like, I don't want to say something real fucked up in case. But I think I was right about the disordered piece because this woman is not well.
Yeah.
She has kind of a brief Wikipedia page. Every word of it screams kind of why she is the way she is. Kondo claims her study of neatness began at age 5 when feng shui became trendy in Tokyo, Japan. Its Japanese equivalent was called fushui. Tokyo is in Japan, but I think this is maybe referring to how Tokyo is very its own thing and compared to the rest of Japan. But that's speculation. I didn't read into these sources. Her mother, quote, was applying the method, but to Kondo's eye, the house was not tidy enough, end quote. At 5. As a result, Kondo began implementing the tidying up process at this age to help her mother's efforts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She attended a private Quaker school in Minato, Tokyo. In junior school, Kondo would run into the classroom to tidy up bookshelves while her classmates were playing in physical education class.
You're absolutely right. I had a friend whose husband would throw away anything you left on the counter or the table. Like, it didn't matter if it was your recent telephone bill or it was a speeding ticket or it was your birth certificate. If it was on the table or on the counter, it was getting thrown away. And I think it's a pathological thing sometimes.
Well, that also sounds punitive.
He was a dick.
Yeah. So it goes on, whenever there were nominations for class roles, she did not seek to be class representative or the pet feeder. This is so oddly specific who wrote this. Instead, she yearned to be the bookshelf manager to continue tidying up books. She said she experienced a breakthrough in organizing one day. Quote, I was obsessed with what I could throw away. One day, I had a kind of nervous breakdown and fainted. I was unconscious for 2 hours. When I came to, I heard a mysterious voice, like some god of tidying, telling me to look at my things more closely, and I realized my mistake. I was only looking for things to throw out. What I should be doing is finding the things I want to keep, identifying the things that make you happy. That is the work of tidying. There's more here. I won't go into it. There's plenty of her words, but yeah, like this is not a well person.
Doesn't sound like it. Cleaning does not spark joy for me. I don't know about other people, but I find it a chore.
Yeah. See, Kondo says that her method is partly inspired by Shinto religion, but not derivative of any of its tenets. Cleaning and organizing can be a spiritual practice in Shintoism. So this is like their version of Christianity picking and choosing scripture to support whatever they feel like.
I've heard that called cafeteria Christianity.
Ooh,
you get a little
I
of
like
this
that.
and a little of that. Yeah.
Yeah. About the scrounging, though, my childhood was filled with all kinds of things like this. My dad traveled a lot for work, but not the like middle class kind of traveling. Like he drove trains, and so he would stay in those like motels that were just a room with a little bathroom in it. The trains didn't have plumbing or toilets on them, so they would shit in these bags. I'm guessing there's a disposal system for hygiene, I guess, or to the railroad would give them these packs of like plastic bags filled. They would each have a bar of soap, a roll, or not a roll, but like, you know, a flat pack of tissue paper that was like the most god awful single ply, crackly, like you couldn't wipe your nose with it because it would just disintegrate inside your nose.
Right.
And the plastic bags to shit in, maybe some tissue. Oh, alcohol wipes. And so for every trip he went on, he would get one of those packs. And I guess didn't always use them. So our bathrooms, like the cabinets under the sink, were stuffed full of those. There were thousands of those in our house. That's where our paper towels came from. That's the toilet paper we used. Was that shitty ass stuff. That was our soap that we washed with. He then at the hotels, you know, the little shampoo bottles they'll have in the shower there.
Yeah.
He would always steal those. He would.
I still do that.
Yeah. And he had, again, thousands of them, and would refill his bottle of shampoo, all of our bottles of shampoo, with each of those. And he wasn't like super strict about it. Like he didn't force us to only do that. Like, because we made money too. Like by the time I was in high school, I had a paycheck, so I could buy shampoo if I wanted to. Mom would get us good conditioner for our hair if we wanted it. It wasn't like we were forced to use these things, but there were the signs of this stuff every fucking where in our house for years. What a job. I don't know. The shitting in a bag thing is hardcore.
That is hardcore.
Most of the trains have bathrooms on them now.
My brother-in-law worked for the railroad, and he got so fat they fired him. I'm not a fan of his, if you can.
Wow. I mean, it was pretty hard on Dad's health. That's how he got diabetic.
Yeah. He lives in the middle of Amish country, and they basically said if you get out on one of these trains too far and something happens and you have a heart attack, you're going to die because we have no way to get anybody to you. And so they put him off, paid for him to have weight loss surgery, and he did all that, and he didn't lose the weight, and he ended up getting fired because of it. And he was
Wow.
unemployed for a long time. He was a big dude. He recently did have the weight loss surgery and has lost weight, apparently. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't talk to those people.
Never heard of that. What railroad was it? Was it CSX?
No. It's escaping my mind. They had a depot right there in the little town he lived in where my sister lives. But I can't think.
Dad worked for Norfolk Southern, but I don't know if they had yards up that far up north.
Right.
It could have been a more local railroad.
Let me Google, see if
There's one, something starts with R. I don't know. I'm mostly familiar with Norfolk Southern and CSX because they're the national, competitors.
Wheeling and Lake Erie Railway.
Okay. I've seen signs for that.
I've been on their trains before. Every Christmas they have Santa on the train, and you bring your kids and you go for a ride about an hour out and an hour back.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice little train ride. It was a lot of fun. I've done that a couple of times.
Dad's experience with the railroad actually led to me having some really anti-union sentiments from my childhood because his union was so corrupt and predatory. It was a corporate union, and so it was compulsory, and it just reinforced whatever this company decided, from in a lot of ways, and it was cronyist. So that was my only understanding of what a union looked like for the longest time. And then I grew up during the union busting days of Reagan and all that. So I've had to unlearn a lot of what I understand community organizing and unionizing to actually mean and what the good that it can do. But also, whenever I try to talk about my experience at the hands of a corrupt union, I've noticed leftists don't want to hear that shit from me.
Why?
Because it feels like criticism of the entire concept of unionizing, I think. I think also people are defensive over their ideologies, and the idea that there are unions that are corrupt and abusive and whatnot is troubling to their ideology not to their ideology. I think part of believing in unions is believing that workers have a solidarity that is unshakable, and they just don't. And it's not because they're bad people or something like that. It's because capitalism ruins everything. The union my dad was in was tainted by the corporate structure that it wound up being controlled by. And nobody fucking cares because it's the railroad. Who cares about the railroad,
Right.
It's like miners or something. Anyway.
Ruth says hello.
Hi, Rudy. You're looking she's looking like she needs a haircut.
She does. We've got the call in. We're trying to find somebody. We don't want to take her back to the lady we took her to because the haircut was bad. It looked like on one of her legs on the back, she started up with a clipper and just quit.
Brisket is it's common for cats to get what is they called? Where they knot up, a mat in a place where they can't reach or just don't want to. Brisket's fat and really fluffy. So he had a big mat sticking up off of right in the middle of his back. And so I had to shave it off. So he's just got a bald spot on his back there.
Oh, Trance used to do that. He would lay on his back so much and he'd get wet and there would be mats all up his back. You'd have to shave them off.
Yeah.
They form overnight.
Yeah. They came out of nowhere. All of a sudden there was 3 of them.
Yeah.
Did you bring a noun of Appalachian interest?
I did a rather short one this week. Let's see what we got here. All right, this week's noun of Appalachian interest is bluegrass music. Bluegrass music sounds like it has been echoing through the mountains since the first cabin was built, but the style we call bluegrass is actually much younger than sliced bread. It all came together during the 1940s when Kentucky musician Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys began playing older mountain music with more speed and a little competitive energy. Bluegrass musicians take turns stepping forward for a solo, which they call a break. During that break, the player attacks their instrument like it has been spreading rumors about their family. The music grew up from several traditions that had already met in Appalachia. The fiddle came from Europe, while the banjo developed from instruments brought to America by enslaved Africans. Blues also shaped the sound, so despite what some old documentaries might suggest, bluegrass did not appear because one Scottish man wandered into Kentucky carrying a fiddle and a family secret. Then there's the singing, often called the high lonesome sound. It can make any subject feel tragic. A bluegrass singer could announce that supper is ready, and you would assume that supper had died in a coal mine. Bluegrass may be fast, but it carries a long history. It is Appalachian music shaped by people sharing sounds across cultures and then playing them fast enough to make the banjo smoke. So should you ever find yourself at a bluegrass festival, do not be fooled by the folding chairs and calm-looking crowd. The minute the banjo starts picking, feet begin tapping and heads start nodding like everyone has been waiting all week for this exact moment. Bluegrass has a way of turning a quiet field into a gathering where the music carries further than the conversation. It may sound lonesome, but it always has been music meant to bring people together. That's bluegrass. I gotta say, I don't know a whole lot about bluegrass music. One of my friends follows a group out of Cincinnati called the Rumpke Mountain Boys, and they're really my only exposure to bluegrass, like live music and that kind of thing. But I know her whole friend group is really into it.
Yeah, I love bluegrass. I grew up on listening to it both, like, from recordings and things, like from bands, and also, but mostly I listen to people play it live in like jam style. My dad's friends were all musicians, and the feeling, the sound of being like surrounded by all of that, because what they do is they sit in a circle. You have to, like, you don't have to be in the circle, but it's harder to communicate if you're not. So, you might have to like do something to call attention to yourself, but it's just magical watching them, because it'd be 30 of them. And I'd be in there when I was older, when I could play better, sitting in a circle on various milk crates or whatever in somebody's room off from, there's always random rooms in houses in Appalachia that aren't quite for something, and they would just be playing away and communicating with looks. They always knew what was going to happen next based on who looked at who a certain way. I feel so lucky being able to have been in those environments. Bluegrass now, it's really evolving. I was on social media the other day, and there's a band I follow. Oh hell, I can't remember their name now. They're a hardcore Appalachia like metal band. It's a fusion. Oh, wow. They're so good. I gotta get on TikTok and go through my follows and see who was the woman who plays the banjo? Clover Lynn is her name. She's on tour right now. She went viral on TikTok because she would stitch, dumbass right-wing people talking about abortion, say, or whatever, and just play the banjo very loud over them while they're talking. It was a really fun, just way to clap back at those people. She goes by Hillbilly Gothic on social media, on Instagram, and she's actually a friend of the show. They're all traditionally trained people. When I say trained, I mean like just knowledgeable about the tradition of bluegrass, but they bring their own thing to it. Yeah, I've always wanted some Queer Necks like bluegrass music themes for us. I have to go buy just stuff I can get for free, and some of it's fine, but I don't love all of it.
My dad was also a musician, and he always had a band, and they would practice at our house. And there was one guy that played the fiddle, and I hated him. I hated the way that the fiddle would just... Now I appreciate it, right? I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan, and the fiddle is a big part of that. But when I was a kid, it just pierced my ears is the best way I can describe it, and I would
cut through.
Ask to leave. Yeah, it was difficult. He was only in the band for like a year though, so it didn't work. Wasn't too bad. They had a steel guitar. They had all kinds of stuff in the band.
That's really it. Like, bluegrass music is a huge mishmash of instruments that I think because of bluegrass we think of as similar to each other, but they're not at all. It's, something like a banjo and a mandolin have very little in common, aside from the fact they have strings on them. The tunings are totally different. Mandolin has 8 strings, and they're double strings, so they're like two per whatever. I don't know how to phrase that. Like a 12-string guitar. But all stringed instruments are technically percussion. So that's one of the reasons why bluegrass has that sound to it, is because it's just a shitload of percussion instruments trying to meet somewhere in the middle. It's amazing.
Right. That's awesome.
I think I'm going to start seeing if I can play again, even though I can't feel the fingering hand. It's so unfortunate that's what it's called, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I can't feel it, but maybe it still knows what to do.
Right.
There's a woman named Abby the Spoon Lady who also went viral on social media, and she plays the spoons. She has a very distinct look. She's very petite, skinny. She has no teeth and doesn't wear dentures. You know, she doesn't bother. She's always barefoot. She wears her overalls or, you know, a simple, clearly, you know, mountain dress. And she's amazing. And she always has these great collabs with other musicians. But she started, I think, because of recent political horrors, on TikTok saying her opinions about certain things. And the number of people who are shook that she has progressive ideas and, you know, leftist leanings. So like, well, I thought you'd be on the right side and, you know, love Trump or whatever. And she's like, who? What the fuck has he ever done for people like me? The reason my life has been so economically the way it is because people like him exist at all. Like, we're not supposed to have billionaires and trillionaires at this point. And those people can only exist at the expense of other people's economic security. Poverty exists, or poverty is made possible through wealth hoarding.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, I like her. I'll drop some links. You, if you don't mind, put a link to that band you were talking about in the Slack, and I'll put those in the show notes for folks to check out if you want to try some bluegrass. If you've always maybe been curious, or you already are a bluegrass fan, and let us know who you're listening to if you like bluegrass.
They call it trash grass. That's funny. I forgot about
love
that. Because Rumpke Mountain is the garbage dump in Cincinnati. Yeah. And so they're trash grass. Trashgrass.com.
Possum rock is another kind of fusion music out there. It's more like a grunge, I think, mixed with some holler aesthetic. I was going to say the name of a band that I follow, but I can't remember it now. Cigarettes at Sunset? I don't know. I'll have to bleep that out. We asked for some suggestions about podcasts on our last episode. And so our friend Techno Pop Tart has delivered with something, with a suggestion, a show called Queer and Pleasant Strangers. It's a married couple who talk about how their week went. So they have two very interesting jobs. One is a musician and a coder. The other is a gaming journalist. There's some little skits, but mostly just them chatting.
Sounds like us.
Yep. Clean vibe. Well, I will check them out. And then someone on social media gave us some tips on where to start with Old Gods of Appalachia. Couple of good suggestions. Old Gods of Appalachia. They said start with season 5, I think.
Gotcha. I wonder why you start with season 5.
A lot of podcasts don't really find their groove until they've been going a while. Maybe that's it, or maybe it's a certain storyline that they like, because that's a fiction kind of narrative show. Well, let's spin the wheel of what have you and see. Where is it? It closed because I restarted my computer.
We did get an email this week asking if we wanted our offices cleaned.
Oh, wow. I think I'm good on that. That's what we just did. Thank you, wheel. It has now landed on Word Game /trivia twice in a row.
Do it again?
Yep.
All right.
Definitely something up with this. Okay. So it landed on Anecdote, which we still don't have a wheel to choose a topic for us. We could see if there's a random topic generator. Okay. None of these are very good. This must be like some writing exercise thing.
Come up with something.
Yeah. We'll talk about it off air and surprise everybody. All right. Well, thanks for another week. Thanks for hanging out with us. I don't know how many episodes are out now. It's been enough that we've lost count. I think 60, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. We might be getting good at it. What are you going to do the rest of the day?
I don't know, but I'm going to leave the house. I haven't in a few days, so even if it's to go get something to eat, I don't know, go do something out there. Chandler gets off work at 3 o'clock. Well, she's off work now, so she'll be home soon.
Cool.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a couple things, work on the camper, and get ready to leave town. I'm making something stupid, but like just like a screened-in portion for the front, so that the cats can come outside the camper. I'm gonna be such like just a crazy cat gentleman everywhere I camp, but you know, whatever. I want them to have an experience.
That's gonna be great.
I'm excited. I'm nervous and excited, but you know. Well, let's go do it to it, as they say. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Let us know what your stories, and you know, say hi to your mom and them.
Bye.